could be with anyone, you're here with me. You're here with me. You could be around for
You could be with anyone, and I could be with anyone. You're here with me. You're here with me.
Hey, what's going on, people? I just did what I said that I always was afraid I was going to do. I was sitting here talking to myself. Now I'm with you. Welcome to the show. This is the call-in show. You guys will be able to call in, give your opinions on what we're talking about so that we can hear from you, the audience, because unlike TLC, I actually care what folks who watch the show actually think and what y'all have to say. So we're going to get into it. Without too much further ado, I see that there's some ones in the chat. I appreciate you guys lighting that up. For those that don't know, usually I ask for a one in the chat to make sure that you guys can hear me, you can see me, everything looks good, everything is cool. If not, give me a two and I can do some adjustments because otherwise it's not fun. Not fun for anybody. Fun had by no one. So I appreciate you guys. I see some ones popping up. Thank you guys so much. I saw like Vladian, Alexandra PF, as well as some other folks were in the chat earlier. Rosemont Harris were in the chat earlier, kind of chopping it up. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to give the room a little bit of time to fill up. If you guys want, don't forget to hit that like button, but make sure you fill out the poll question because I'm just kind of curious where you guys are because ultimately we can talk about the, if you guys want to call in and talk about, Oops, 90 day. All right. If you guys want to call in and talk about the episode, that's fine. I'm going to give everybody 2 minutes. So you have 2 minutes, make your case. I'm not going to interrupt you. I'm going to give you your 2 minutes. And then if I have anything to say afterwards, I'll throw it in afterwards. But I want to try to make sure we keep the show rolling, as well as give everybody an opportunity to be able to say the thing, get their piece, say their piece, speak their truth, if you will. So we're gonna do that. Let me I'm gonna give here's the link. I'll drop the link in the chat so you guys can start loading the room up. That would be awesome. And we'll get through, we'll get through it. It'll happen when it happens. It'll be awesome. So far, yeah, the poll results are pretty much what I expected. No surprises here. Yeah, like I said, I want to be clear because I'm actually I want to start doing some shorter videos as well. Just kind of talking about the things that I've been discussing so far with regard to the show and my feelings about it. So it's not just about like, oh, well, Madison said some pretty terse things to Cody last week. I want to talk about like the overall direction and progression of the show, where the show is going, what TLC is doing. Are they helping the show? Are they hurting the show? If you're a fan of the show and you enjoy watching it, then it behooves all of us to make sure that the TLC is putting out the best product possible so that the show will continue. Because what's going to happen, in my opinion, what's going to happen is they're going to basically continue to tell the old recycled lazy ass stories that they've been telling as far as the sister wives are concerned. Most of the fans who are diehard fans are now going to other outlets to get their sister wife news. So they're going to the Sun. They're going to various YouTubers who are coming out with things that don't appear on the show and topics and issues that the family may be talking about. Or maybe they put something up on X or whatever. Madison, I think, put up a post on X where she had basically called Robin a liar and called her dad, a deadbeat or whatever. And then all of a sudden it's like, that's what we're talking about. When in essence, if we're not talking about the show, then the show serves no purpose. And if the show serves no purpose, the show is going to get canceled. Full stop. Full stop. So that's where I'm at. And like I said, Behooves. Yeah, right. Pulling out them nickel words. Um, it gets to a point where I want to do a video specifically talking about it. I got to do a video on that, and I still got to do my monogamy video. I'm working to try to get my studio set up so it'll be a little. Hopefully, I can get my workflow. Every time I think I got it figured out, I don't, and it's just I don't know. This is that the downside of I guess creation, content creation. But yeah, if you guys want to join in, you're more than welcome. And again, this is like I know it's kind of it might feel like I'm Debbie Down in the show or I'm talking a lot of shit about TLC and he's just trying to make us feel bad for watching it. No, that's not it at all. Like I said, I think that when we watch the show, in a lot of ways, we're being taken advantage of by TLC, right? I'm not even going to just put it on the cast members because honestly, with most of them, if you're not willing to do the job, then it's up to your employer to make sure you do the job. It's not up to like, could you imagine you go to work and the boss is like, I'm gonna leave it up to you whether you work today or not, or how hard you work. Well, shit, if it's like that, I would give me the day off with pay. I would get not only would I give me the day off with pay, in fact, I would give me a raise because I think I'm very valuable. You understand what I mean? And that's where it comes down to. Like for me, that's what it comes down to. So the same way I would look at the Brown family and say the things that happen in the Brown family are Cody's responsibility because everything flowed through Cody. I'm looking at TLC and saying, yeah, I could sit here and say that, Cody and Robin refused to answer any questions. Well, you mothers keep writing them checks. You guys keep letting them cash checks with TLC on it. That's why they do whatever they want to do because you're letting it happen. So I'm the same way I would blame Cody or hold Cody accountable if Robin is running roughshod all over the Brown family. I hold TLC accountable if they allow the Brown family, particularly Robin and Cody, to show up and not do work. If they're showing up doing bullshit and we're scheduled to watch a reality show. And here's a question that I would ask you guys as you are calling in. I'm curious what what your opinion is. If, like I said, I'll give you 2 minutes, so you can make whatever case you want. Do you want to talk about the show, or do you want to talk about the poll question, which is, do you think TLC has been taking its viewers for granted with how they handle their reality shows? Currently, 79% of you said yes, the storyline feels recycled. 2% of you said they deliver drama, but it's forced. And 5% of you said, no, it's entertainment. 15% of you said, I've stopped watching altogether, which is a bit like, and it sounds small, like, oh, it's only 15%. That's a huge number. That's a huge number. And eventually that'll start to whittle its way into the sustainability of this show. And it potentially, and here's another thing, if you're a Christine, Mary, or Janelle fan, these poor numbers, the poor showings, will destroy any possibility that they would have a spinoff. They're not going to spin off a failed show. I mean, well, TLC might. Most successful networks won't spin off a failed show. So the only shows, like if you saw like Law and Order, they had like 5 or 6 iterations of that. Was it CSI? They had about 6 or 7 iterations of that. Actually, I think Law and Order had 6 or 7 because they had UK Law and Order. So, those types of shows, NCIS, they had a bunch of shows. That's because the flagship show was very successful and they wanted to capitalize off of that flagship show, and they were able to make additional successful shows. However, if you're watching Sister Wives and Sister Wives numbers start tanking out and they start failing, then it makes no sense for them to come out with Sister Wives Utah, Sister Wives Parowan, Sister Wives North Carolina, Sister Wives Arizona Flagstaff. it doesn't make any sense. And this is where, like, I'm just doing a little tea leaf, and I'm reading tea leaves. So I want to hear what you guys have to say about it. When I give you the 2 minutes, like I say, do you have time to say what you want? But if you want to address that, or if you want to address like the like I said, the poll question, or if you want to talk about like the viewer experiences and loyalty. What kept you watching TLC shows for so long? And what finally made you feel like they stopped respecting the audience's time? Do you think TLC underestimates how closely fans pay attention to inconsistencies and recycled storylines? Because there's a lot of inconsistencies in Sister Wives. Like, it's to the point now where again, is both I and many of the other call-in people previously have said it feels like they playing in our face. So we have Negla on the line. Negla, what's going on? How you doing? Hello?
I turned my camera on, not my mic. That was an accident. Don't want to get you demonetized. Anyway, I'm joking. You know what? It's interesting that I joined in late accidentally, but this is my thing. Like, I like to binge shows. Like, so for example, I'll binge watch, like when I first started Sister Wives, I binge watched it. I like to, kind of do that. I don't do soap operas and all that stuff. I just like to kind of watch it all in one sitting. However, because I do like this, this little area of the world that my take, takes up and absorbs, I do try to be a little more diligent about watching it, when it's on. However, I will say, I really do think TLC playing in our faces because, and hear me out, because you're a, media, you got a little bit of media, background or what have you. I really think this show could be like a YouTube show, or, am I wrong? Do you
No.
get that feeling?
Yeah.
Like, it could literally be done on YouTube, and people would still, in the beginning, because they had a cause, allegedly, it was like, okay, well, perhaps this is entertaining TV. But at this point, it needs to be with what's that one show? Oh man, I can't remember. It's like a YouTube soap opera or what have you that a friend of mine plays in. Literally, it could be one of those. It doesn't need to be a full show where the cast is paid, or you know what I mean. It just
Right.
doesn't, because they're not giving us that. If we were still getting like quality, like I will say the first season, even though Lord Fauntleroy was an a-hole, at least we were getting to know the family. It was learning about their lifestyle and challenges, trials, and tribulations. It didn't seem as forced. He seemed like he was the only one forcing it. The others seemed like they were actually genuinely just trying to let people know about how they live and things like that. Now, like I said, it could be a YouTube dramedy. And no offense to you, because I mean, we're talking our real lives, but literally it could be a dramedy on YouTube that I, perhaps catch up on one day when I'm sick in the hospital on my deathbed with the flu or something. I don't know. It's gotten to that point.
Nah,
So
I feel you. I feel you. I feel
yeah.
you. But let me I got a
All
hold to
right.
the 2 minutes. But if you want to call back, that's cool. All right.
No worries. But you take care. If I don't get a chance to call back, as always, I love my Take fam. Y'all take care, stay safe, and have a blessed week.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
And Negla makes an excellent point. Like, when push comes down to shove, like, I don't take offense to the fact that, they could be on YouTube too, because honestly, it's basically a YouTube show now. The only difference is that they come on TV, and for some reason they try to make us pay for it. So that shit that's not positive. That's not net positive. Most of these stuff on YouTube you can watch for free. It might cost you a little bit of time with the ads, but other than that, like you're not paying like $4.99 to watch James talk about sister wives. You know what I mean? And to be honest with you, here's what's jacked up. Here's what's jacked up. I'll take what Negla said a step further. It seems like you have more people, commentators, people on YouTube talking more about the Brown family and their lives than the Brown families are addressing their lives and their situations. You have us talking about it more than they're talking about it. You have us giving more perspective and more opinion on what's going on in their lives than they are. So I don't appreciate that part of it. I don't appreciate that part of it. So it's not as like I just don't feel like it's a good use of their time and our time. Like it's just starting to get to that point. Like if you're not interested in doing the show, leave the show while the show is still hot, and maybe just maybe you might be able to find yourself another venue to be able to grow and expand your presence, whether it's social media or on a different show or whatever. But if they ride this show until the show is done, the show gets canceled, then they're over. And that's what I was saying about the spinoff perspective. But we have Megatron in the house. What's going on, Megatron? How you doing?
Hey, James, my take family, y'all. What's going on?
Not much, not much.
Eh, okay, so I thought about it. I was like, I'm not gonna come in hot. Um, okay. So what if another network picked up and reformulated how the story's being told? I mean, Cody, as much as we don't like Cody, most of us don't like him. He's entertainment. We gotta give him that. He is entertainment.
Mhm.
Robin, not so much. Cody is definitely entertainment. But like when you were talking about some of those shows back at like they would like another network would pick it up. What was that? You remember that show, The Game? It came out on CW and then it went off for like 2-3 years and then it came back on a whole new network with a whole new formula. So
Right.
I'm thinking, maybe if another network were to pick it up, say VH1 or Bravo or somebody else besides TLC, because obviously this formula they're using is not working anymore.
Mhm.
So I was just wondering, like, maybe if another show, another network picked it up and reformatted it, maybe it could bring back a little spice or something. But I don't know. I was just thinking. But Cody is entertaining to watch. He gives us a lot of content to talk about. I mean, it is what it is. But
Right.
I mean, I would keep watching if the show was reformatted. But if it's gonna keep being TLC with this slow drag, molasses in January moving along, yeah, this is it for me.
No, I feel you. I feel you. But thank you for calling. You're welcome to call back, Linda.
Okay, thank you for accepting the call.
No, no. Thank you for calling. Thank
Okay.
you for calling. Otherwise, it'd just be me.
So, hey, and that's fine too. Look, James, you invited to the cookout. Now, don't do
Oh,
that.
thank
You invited to the
you.
cookout.
Hey, I take a big plate though.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? All right.
Don't
Well,
show me
thank you.
Tupperware. Don't be that guy.
Okay, because you look like you can barbecue the hell out of some ribs, and
Okay, sir.
I mean, I don't know if you barbecue or not, but you look like you can.
Oh yeah, I barbecue. I'm a
You the
steak
uncle
guy.
with the sandals. You the uncle with the sandals at the cookout.
Yeah, no, I got no sandals, but I will be there. I will be there with my little apron on.
Okay,
Holding a
we'll
little
take it. We
food.
will take it. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you,
All right.
Megatron. I appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, you know what? It is a Megatron makes a great point. Is at the end of the day, so much of this has been focused on Cody, and then I'll get with you in a moment, Linda. So much of this has been focused on Cody, and it's crazy. It's crazy sauce because I feel like, and this is the part that I've been struggling with since maybe like season 18. once everybody started peeling away from the family and the show didn't pick up in a proper direction, kind of what Megatron was saying. There is no story here. There's no storyline. And it's what Kim was saying as well. Kim Dog Mama. What they were saying. There's no story here. It's a story about nothing. I've been saying this. And the only thing we're watching basically now is how cruel can Cody possibly be? How nasty can this man be? How much shit can he heap on these women? And how much are they willing to take? That's kind of the question. Like, how nasty can he be to his kids? How nasty can he be to his ex-wives? And then how nasty can he be to them and still keep a smile on his face like he did nothing wrong and blame them for the stuff that he did? That's kind of what the sport is now. And it kind of beckons into something that I thought about earlier. And like I said, I'm gonna give everybody a chance to cite their views, and then I'll come out with like a shorter, smaller videos, kind of like I used to do back in the day. Bow, so that way I can start nailing down some of the stuff that I want to say, because I have I have opinions. All right, but we're gonna bring Linda up to the stage. What's going on, Linda?
Hey, can you hear me, darling?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
All right. So I'm not coming in hot. I'm coming a little confused. Megatron just gave me a migraine. I love you, girl, but I do not want to see Cody Brown. I want to see him in jail. I don't know if you heard any of my speak pipe, James. I went from ballistic to, oh my God, you sound like me. You had me rolling when I listened. I listened to your show on Monday when I was cleaning my living room because it was a holiday. I was rolling. But just to stay on topic, what I think Sister Wives is doing, because they are they're just really telling us that everything we thought about them was true. Everything we knew about Cody is true. Everything about Robin. So you all know I'm not watching the show, but just, the nosy one of me is like, I see these clips and these long things. You do not know how bad I wanted to throat punch Robin when the producer asked that question. Do you miss having the family, or is it weird to be moving without your family? And they looked at each other like he gave this stupid thing. Like, I don't know if it was an act or he didn't want to answer it. The fact that he looked to Robin was really weird, because I've never seen this man look at any wife to give an answer. He usually looks at them after they give one, especially before him. And when she started laughing, I'm like, bitch, you're showing your true colors and you are going to cry tears of blood. You are paying for this. But TLC doesn't care. TLC, I don't know if the ratings have gone up, if they stayed steady, but TLC is just saying, here, every theory you have is right. Everything you've thought about is right. Robin is that manipulative bitch. And I don't know if you got to see Maddie's Instagram story. You had to have heard about it. Yes. Maddie actually said everything we've been saying. She confirmed it. And I'm like, well, why the hell isn't Peyton confirming? No one is going to lose money. So that just made me believe that none of these wives are going to lose money. And by the way, why the hell are these women still filming? You couldn't get out of the contract. Once you got that Coyote Pass money, you couldn't get a lawyer to get out of this contract. I'm not familiar with show business contracts, but I'm familiar with contracts, just on experience and classes I've taken. You can find a way out of a contract based on emotional distress or mental distress. One or two of them could have gotten out of it already. Why Christine is there and dragging her husband into this, I'm done with that heifer, right? To me, I think Mary's on the seesaw. She hasn't let go. And Janelle, like I don't understand. Like, why are you there? Why are you on this show? Do you really need money that bad, or did you not get all this money from Coyote Pass? No. TLC is going to run this to the. They're going to break the muffler on the car and keep on going. All right. The tires are going to explode. They're going to keep on going. The engine, they're going to keep on going because people are watching it. But I think the more because I've been checking out other content creators and everyone is done, everyone is negative. So unless TLC gets a clue, they're going to keep doing this, which is why I don't have the channel. I refuse to get it. But I'm telling you, someone there is just rubbing our face in it, or they want to say, yeah, you're right. I haven't figured out which one.
Right. Right.
What
Well,
do you what do you think on this? Because it's irritating me.
I think that it might be a little bit of both. I think that they're confirming what we believe because they're trying to save the show. I just looked it up, and according to my little search, my little Google search, which is not official, but so far they're saying that Sister Wives season 20 ratings are reportedly declining. And there's some supposed source, some secret sauce source, says that the decrease in viewership has been occurring since the family separation. And my concern is that TLC is taking this as TLC as well as the castmates. Why are they still doing the show? For money. I 100% believe that. They're going to keep doing this show until they tell them they don't want to put them on air anymore because it's free money. And what concerns me is that especially as they're trying to create storylines and they're trying to save the show, they're getting the wrong information. This is why I'm taking such a strong stance on content creators have to be the vanguard. We have to be the ones, because we're the ones who basically give them free advertisement for them to be on the air in the first place.
Correct.
Because when they go off, the season is over. Half the time, many of us will go back and we'll talk about the show during the off period, still maintaining that level of interest so that they can flow into the next season. Right? So we have a duty not only to ourselves but to the people who subscribe to our channels and take time to watch our videos, to be honest and tell them what's going on and say, look, you guys aren't doing a good job. It's not that the family fell apart. That's why people stopped watching the show. It's not because Christine left and all of a sudden people became disinterested in Sister Wives. It's because you're lazily trying to recycle the same damn storyline that you've been talking about for the last 6 seasons. Coyote Pass is 6 seasons old, and they're just getting to the point where they're about to resolve it. That's too much. Cody having a conversation about monogamy 8 damn times. How many times
Please.
you got to ask your wife?
Enough. You're right. Enough with the monogamy. I get the Coyote Pass because they just settled that March of this year. Because remember, everyone signed the paperwork in September, but Robin didn't sign it until March. And I just love how everyone is dragging them like, yeah, you had to settle Coyote Pass because you needed money for McMansion 2.0.
Right.
And then you have to throw a room for Truly. You got a house that's just 1,000 feet bigger, but with the same amount of rooms. But they got this place behind, I think it's an ash mine or
a cinder mine.
A cinder mine. Who does that? Why do you want to live there? Something more expensive, and it's going to be detrimental to your children's health.
Right.
Well, I don't understand.
But you also got to figure Cody is only going to be there for another 5 years anyway, because he's a short term. He's a short term guy, so he'll be there. Like, I don't even know what. Like, at this point, he's one of them guys. I don't know why you're even buying houses, because you like floating around as much as you do. You should just rent.
No, because he won't make money as a renter to sell it. But there's just something that I need to put out there, and I forgot my definitions. I get confused between the psychopath and the sociopath. If I don't have it in front of me, I forget. Usually when I have to code it in a medical chart, I have to, I get the definition there.
Right.
But the fact that he does that cut and run, if you notice, he can't be in a neighborhood more than 3 or 4 years. There was one episode that they showed again that's on, on your Facebook, where Christine is laying out the litany of how many times they've moved. I got dizzy. Mm-hmm. Like, how do you're in Lehigh, but you moved to 2 different neighborhoods? And okay, so we know Linda has watched too much Investigation Discovery and Oxygen, but that's also the behavior. That's like almost criminal behavior. Like you do things and you leave. You got to go someplace else. You're committing crimes and you're leaving and you go someplace else. Like, for real, all joking aside, I don't know how the IRS investigated the Chrisleys and they went to jail. They investigated Teresa and she went to jail. Cody is committing mortgage fraud out of his own mouth and no one's investigated that, but it's just the moving, like that pattern of behavior of his. It's alarming.
Right. Well, the reason why I said, because, well, first, the difference between a sociopath and a psychopath typically is that sociopaths are more chaotic, more impulsive, whereas psychopaths are far more calculating and they're planners.
He's a
And typically,
combination of both. We're screwed.
yeah, typically they're they also seem to be able to disconnect sooner from people. Like they have deeper levels of disconnect. But I think that the problem that Cody has is, and one of the things that he's going to get in trouble with, is that I understand like making an investment. If you're going to live somewhere, buy something. The problem that I was saying with Cody, and where I think that he and Robin will fail eventually, is that it's fine if you're buying like mid-level houses and you're just living there and you're flipping those mid-level houses because real estate will increase in value.
Right.
The problem you have is that when you start to purchase luxury homes, people who buy luxury homes typically don't buy fixer-uppers.
Mhm.
If they do, those luxury homes are at a deep discount because it costs so much because of this mere square footage. It costs so much for you to redo a home that size. Like, so if you have some of the most expensive work you can have done in your house is to redo your kitchen and to redo your bathrooms. They're also
Yep.
the most popular ones. But if you have several bathrooms in a house and you have 2 or 3 kitchens, that could be hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars just going on those particular rooms. That's not even talking about like, and I'm gonna be I don't want to be an ass about this, but looking around the house, it's a nice house, nice enough house, but it needs a lot of updating.
Oh
That
yeah.
house needs a lot of
I
updating.
saw a Zoom tour of it. It's
Mm,
very dated. It's
right,
incredibly dated. Even the
right.
fixtures, the kitchen is a gut job just to get it moving. But I listen, they have so much junk and stuff, they probably won't. But
Yeah, I mean, and they're not taking care. Like with the McMansion, he dropped the he dropped the tree on. I gotta because of the 2 minutes. But with the McMansion, they dropped the tree on the damn house. They didn't fix the house, so they buy these houses. They don't do work in the houses. Like they had the I think the driveway done so that they
yes.
can melt the snow. But you're not fixing the house as you go along, and you're not maintaining the house in order for you to be able to buy these like $1 million homes, that's a lot of maintenance. And people who are looking for $1 million homes, like I said, they're not looking to go in there and try to fix shit up.
Nope.
I have $5 million. I'm not trying to fix it. I don't want to pick up a hammer. I don't even want to see a hammer.
It has to be turnkey according to my
Right.
the HSN programs, the home thing programs. But okay, I'm gonna stop running my mouth so you could get to everybody else. But yeah, TLC, they're dragging this to forget it. The
Right.
car's on fire and they're still driving it.
Yeah, they
All
just
right.
still ride down the road like nothing's wrong. Like, your shit is on fire. And they
All
waving
right.
to you.
All right, sweetie. I'm out.
All
Bye.
right. Thank you, Linda. Appreciate you.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, Linda makes good points. Like I said, everybody are banging up good points. And part of the problem is that as the show is decreasing in numbers, and this is one of the things that like I'm trying to be like I'm ringing the bell as hard as I can. As the show decreases in numbers, the likelihood that the show will be canceled increases. Megatron brought up a good point. Janet, I'll be with you in a moment. Megatron brings up a good point. There have been shows. Hell, I've watched shows. There was a show I used to watch, Lucifer. I think it was on Fox, and then they were canceled off of Fox, and Netflix picked them up. And I think the show is still running on Netflix. You understand what I mean? So there's been a few shows. I think SWAT was canceled with Shamar Moore, supposedly Christine's crush, baby girl. That show was canceled, and they're going to run they're running a spinoff of that show. So I mean, it does happen. The only problem that I think may occur is that I think that Megatron's point is very, very good. Like I think that it's definitely a strong position that another company comes in, they say, look, this is what we need to do. We're gonna rework the show, we're gonna make it work, but you guys got to start doing pop, 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 pop. The second they say you guys have to come in and start working, I think that where it's going to fail is that these folks have grown accustomed to not working for that check. Now, I'm not saying that they don't do the filming, which is a pain in the ass. They don't do the all day filming and all that stuff, which can be a pain in the ass. What I'm talking about is you're not making yourself vulnerable at all for the show. And that's what the show requires. That's what the role requires. And every time you get cast for a role, in order for you to complete that role effectively, efficiently, and for you to do your job, you have to bring something to that role. It's going to cost you something to do this role. You have to work, right? If it was a production or scripted work, it's not you just get up there and read a bunch of words and then that's, hey, cut. That was amazing, Mr. Denzel Washington. That's not how it works. How it works is you have to go in and try to figure out who you are and what is this scene and what does this mean to you and the words and stuff that are being said, what's going on with you, and in the conversation that you have, why is this important, what's happening with you to make this even a conversation worth having, etc., etc. There's a lot of work that goes into it, right, before the day. And when you're doing a reality show, you don't have to do that work because you are the character, so you don't necessarily have to do the research and the work to try to figure out where you're going to be and how you would be feeling in this particular instance, situation, or circumstance. What you do have to do, though, you have to put yourself in a vulnerable state to where you can effectively get across what it is you're talking about. And I don't think that these folks, because of the way they're doing the show and the storylines they're doing storylines that these people feel comfortable with doing. And with reality shows, if the cast members are comfortable, unfortunately, this is just how it works. If the cast members are comfortable, the show is failing. The show is failing. But we're going to go to Janet. Janet, what's going on? How you doing?
Hey James, what's up?
Hey, how's everything?
How are you?
Doing excellent.
Awesome. I just wanted to say I was really, really bored when I was watching the show on Sunday. I think it was Sunday. And like angry because like it was like it's been boring, but I think this is the worst episode I've ever seen. I don't think I've ever been that bored. I mean, the fact that they were still like making the like chasing the like tornadoes the thing, like watching people unpack their houses, like or what are like what? And I don't know, like I was surprised at how angry it was making me because I was like, what is wrong with the people producing this show that like they're letting them get away with like having no storyline, but then like even they try to ask Robin and Cody something that might sort of be like a question that might actually be interesting. They just like laugh at each other and don't answer it, and they just didn't ask any more follow-up questions.
Right.
Like it's wild to me that like that's not addressed, and then when they're in this big ugly house that they want to buy, that they're allowed to just be like, yeah, it's like we're getting it so that the kids can come. Well, you 3 of your kids are grown up, so they're adults, and I think like unless I'm doing that math wrong, so that would be like you have 2 adults and 2 children in like a giant house, and you still don't have a room put aside for your other minor child. They don't ask any follow up on that. It's just like this could probably maybe be Truly's room or a guest room. I think they called it a guest room first. I don't know. It was just
Yeah,
it
well,
was
he said it was like this could be a guest room or Truly's room. Like it,
yeah, or exactly.
I
Oh,
mean,
oh, oh. And it's like it's good that they left that in. I think sometimes that seems to be the way the producers are getting like some of the footage in that's like I think Cody's too stupid to even notice like sometimes what he says, but like they're like tripping over themselves, like just basically like not saying anything.
Mm,
And I have not a lot of hope for the season. I'll definitely still watch it because so we can all talk about it together. But I think the only thing that made me like think that there might end up being something is like Maddie's Instagram post that she put recently because she appeared on the show like in I think in the first episode, and like the fact that she was comfortable saying all that about Cody and Robin is like
mm.
I'm curious about that.
Right, right. Or even with that, then I have to let you go. But even with
Yep.
that, I would say that part of what makes that such a problematic thing for me is that Maddie obviously is okay with talking about these things because she is putting it on her X account.
Yeah.
The problem that I have is that is TLC not allowing her to say or voice her opinion
Good
on
point.
the show.
Yeah, because why else would she be saying it all now? Yeah,
Right,
that's
right.
true.
And that's to me, that's the dummy. The
Yeah.
TLC, I'm gonna look you right in the camera.
Yeah.
TLC, that's dumb as hell. Okay. Because you're paying these people to be on the show, and you have people from the show going to social media and getting more like people have talked more about Madison and her posts last week or since the show is aired, like since episode 3 is aired, they've talked more about her post than they've talked about the episode.
Yeah.
That is a problem.
Yeah, definitely. If they don't step it up, it's gonna get canceled, I think. But I'm just curious to see what happens. But man, it was boring. I'm bored. Anyway, nice talking to you.
Yeah, it's bad. Like this is going downhill fast.
Yeah, it was
But thank
bad.
you so much for calling, and I appreciate you, Janet.
Appreciate you too. Thanks, James.
All right, no worries. Yeah, Janet makes a good point, man. I'm telling you, and I didn't really put it down, break it down like that, but I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna bring it all the way down like that, like a picnic table. That is a problem. Okay, that's like you watching the Super Bowl and people are commenting on the commercials more than they're talking about the game. If that's the case, the game sucked. Nobody's watching the game. If you're watching the Super Bowl for the halftime show and you're not watching the Super Bowl to watch the teams play, then the teams suck. Your business model is in trouble because you don't have a Super Bowl. You don't have the halftime event of the Super Bowl show, Super Bowl halftime show every week that you're running your games. People aren't showing up thinking that they're gonna watch Kendrick Lamar or what is it, Bad Bunny or whoever the hell gonna be on the halftime show, Beyonce or something every game. And if they're not showing up every game, then you guys are losing money. And if they're not showing up, eventually people gonna get tired of just watching the Super Bowl to watch these people in concert. And they'll just pay to see these people in concert. And they'll just be like, all right, why are we wasting people's time with the game? Why don't we just do a halftime show or a 5-10 minute show where we pay an actor or somebody come out and they do like a preparation thing? I might be giving up ideas, y'all. They do like a preparation thing to show like the people getting ready and maybe the people talking about their big performance and have them do a concert. That might be the next big thing. We'll get rid of the damn game. If the game isn't selling tickets, but people want to see the halftime show, if people are going to X to find out about Madison, why would I pay extra money to subscribe to TLC to watch your show when I'm getting more information off of X for free? Answer the question, people. The TLC looking dead at you. But I want to add Caramel Cuties to this stage. Caramel Cuties, what's going on?
Hey James, how you doing?
Doing very well.
You know me, on my commute home, I actually got to log in, sneaking around when I was supposed to be on the phone, but decided to log in a little early to catch when you first came on, and I actually heard what Megatron and what Negla 3 had said, and I agree wholeheartedly with both their points. And then to add to what Janet just said, episode was boring as hell. And I sat back like bullshit, 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 bullshit. Pardon my French, y'all. Cover the baby's ears if you got them in the room. But I didn't think TLC and Sister Wives could top the most boring episode in season 19 to going to get Aurora's ears pierced. But that last Sunday night proved it. I'm sorry, it did. Who gives a care about the house, the table, whatever else? I did see the little sneak diss when they tried to laugh when they asked about not having the whole family there to move them. Genuinely, I think it probably did affect Cody. He just didn't want to make it look like he was a punk on camera. But Robin, you can tell in her little devious laugh, she didn't give two flying F's if the family showed up to help them move or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like, again, it just shows her true character. You know what I'm saying? But it did piss me off that production, you'll push Christine to say all that she needs to say. You'll even try to push Mary, even though she's still Team Cody. You'll push Janelle, who laughs and whatever else. But they not pushing Cody and Robin when it comes to the couch interviews, when it comes to speaking up about whatever happened throughout the season. And that's the part that, to me, is pissing off the fans.
Right.
And that's how they losing us faster than, paint can dry. But, yeah, I'm sure the episodes of them even selling Coyote Pass are about to be womp, womp, womp. Like, I don't see how they're, and I love the show, don't get me wrong. I still don't see how they're filming season 21. Storyline is shot the hell out. There's what else can happen? The best part of the episode to me, personally, was finding out Madison was pregnant with baby number 4, which a lot of us had already known, and 2, that her due date was Big G's death date. I felt like that was super sentimental. I felt like for her to even express that on camera, to share it with us, was amazing. Outside of that, I could care less about McKelty and Tony riding through a damn tornado, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. And the windshield was already cracked when they first got on the road. If nobody paid it attention, rewind it back and watch it again. So, throw that little tidbit out there. Your windshield was already messed up, though. Should have had Safe Life come and fix it. If you can buy a Tesla, you can fix your windshield. That's all I got to say.
That's awesome. You said they went there like, oh, our house got broke into. Oh, shit, take your jewelry off. They took our jewelry.
Nah, dog. That windshield
they got us for
cracked.
everything.
You can see it straight across by Tony's view in one of the angles that they had when they were showing Tony driving. You can see that the windshield was cracked. It could have been an after, and they just edited it where it looked like it was before the tornado, and it could have been after. Who knows? But the windshield was already cracked in the seat.
Wow.
So,
yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't know. And Mary's whole, I could live another 30 years without ever seeing Mary's speed date. Real talk. Like,
Yeah.
I get they're trying to give her a comeback season, kind of like they did Christine's and even Janelle, but it's not landing. Like, the joke is not, we all at the comedy club and ain't nobody even cracked a chuckle at this point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is too, and I might sound a little pessimistic or better. I don't know what the hell you call it, but I haven't been single in a bit, but I remember being single, and until you find your person, being single sucks.
It does.
You know what I mean? Like, because you spend a lot of time. It always felt like I would spend a lot of time, not necessarily wasting time with people, but it would be like, you got stuff going for you, but it's not quite there. And so you're just always kind of looking, and people aren't necessarily meeting certain standards, or you just, I did date a few lunatics. And so, like, you got the lunatic factor. So, like, to watch somebody try to go through the process of dating, like, it's already difficult enough, and it's already painful enough, and it's not as easy. That's one of the things I do appreciate. I don't necessarily want to see her do it, but I appreciate them at least presenting it on the show, because it was so easy for Christine. Like she said, I went on a couple dates, and all of a sudden I met David. He was amazing, and boom, we got married. That's not how that shit usually works.
She hired a matchmaker, though.
Yeah, I mean, even with a matchmaker,
but
some of them people are lunatics too. They match you with somebody.
I'm gonna agree with you about being single sucks, because currently I am single in my 40s, and it's not. You gotta want to be out there in the dating scene and put yourself out there, and I don't see that that's where Mary's at. I think she did it for content, and even more because Mary Jen, bestie funny girl, is pushing it on. I don't
Right.
think if Jen was egging it on so much, Mary would have she probably would have said the hell with it. You get what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Mary's
Yeah.
attitude says it all, and to me, it says I'm not ready for a man. I'm not fully healed over Cody, and that's what it's giving me. I could be wrong, but my spidey senses don't usually be wrong and stuff like that. And if Mary was one of my good girlfriends, I'd have to have a coming to Jesus moment with her, like real raw and uncut, uncooped, and probably a few little French words in there to make her understand like what you had with that man, the life that you had for the past 30-something years, baby, it is gone. It ain't never coming back. Let it the hell go.
Right. Right.
She not there yet. It's
Yeah.
all over her. She's not there yet. And so for her to even remotely try to push through and be like, oh, I'm going to date, and then, that's why her and Amos didn't work. That's probably why her and Ron on the show aren't going to work. She not ready. She got to completely heal, detox, and move the hell on. She's
Right.
not there yet.
Well, I mean, I think that that's also an important thing because let's be frank about it. At the end of the day, I think if you're, especially in a long-term relationship, like 30 years, and you suffered and endured a lot of humiliation and embarrassment from this other person, I think that you have to take, I think you should take time after every breakup. But if, particularly bad breakups or horrible relationships, I think you really need to take time to sort yourself out before you impose yourself and your baggage onto somebody else. Because you could find that special somebody, but if you're coming in with so much shit that they can't, you know what I mean? It just destroys the relationship. It can degrade the relationship that you're trying to build.
Right.
And like you said, like you got to get past it because it's not coming back. It's easy for us to say, man, this shit was never going to work. This man left you years ago, right? He just didn't physically leave you. He tried, but he just didn't physically leave you. But I don't think that she's at a point where she's made the mental connection yet to where it's over and it's not coming back. And to be honest with you, you're probably better off. Because that would be my next question. Like, in the last few years of your relationship, forget like when the shit first started. I'm talking about the last few years of your relationship. Were you happy?
No, she wasn't. And
Yeah,
the
if
fact
your
that,
answer is
to me,
no,
I
then
don't know.
it's time to move on.
It irks me to hear her say, I've only been divorced 2 years. No, baby, you've been divorced over a decade.
Right. You been divorced as long as the show been running.
Admittance is the first step, and she can't even admit that much.
Mm.
Her marriage to Cody was over in Vegas when she signed on the dotted line for a divorce with no alimony or support to go with it.
Well, technically, it was over before then because when they first got to Vegas, he told her when they were before they got into the when they were getting into the rental houses. That's when they first got there. Within the first month of them moving to Vegas, he told her that he wasn't going to be with her. He was going to make her suffer because she made his life hell. That's your relationship is over. You know what I mean? Like, if a man look you in the face, if he look you in the face and he said, "I'm gonna jam your ass up," it's time to pull the brakes. Okay, it's time to jump out of that bad boy. Hit the ejection button because you got to get out of there.
True.
But I agree with you. I mean, even with the divorce papers, the way he did the divorce, he wasn't like, we found out later, but she knew right away that he wasn't even coming over to her house. So it's not like, oh, well, we're going to try to work things out. How are you working things out if he won't even spend time with you or return your phone calls and come and check on you? How are you working shit out?
Didn't he have a list for her that kept moving the goalposts? Like every time she completes something on the list, something else got added or it got moved or whatever else. All those are signs your relationship is done.
Yeah, it's dog water. It's done. It's Dunsky. And it's not even a thing where like celebratory, like, hey, Mary, it's over. But I get it's hard, but life is hard. And sometimes you got to deal with hard shit. And just so you can get better. But you can't ignore it. It's like a bill. Like you
Yep,
not opening the letter doesn't mean that bill doesn't exist anymore. All right, you still owe the
exactly.
money.
Exactly. But I won't keep you. You turn up these sunflower seeds as, traffic is light today. But I
All
do
right.
appreciate you for all you do, James. I love my Mike Take family. And, hopefully everybody has a great week this week.
Well, I appreciate all you do for us, Caramel Kitties. One of the
I feel
mega
bad.
mods.
I'm not in the chat as much as I should be, only because when you're on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm usually driving. So by
Right.
the time I actually get home or to a long enough red light, I can only comment a couple things and then hop back out the chat. But I'm lurking. I'm like a little stalker. I'm in there watching and lurking.
There you go. There you go. That's all you need sometimes. Just keeping an eye on things,
Right. But Sundays and Saturdays, you're going to have me full support for sure.
All right. Awesome. Awesome. Look forward to it. Thank you, Caramel Keys. I appreciate you.
No problem. Keep doing what you're doing, big guy. We love it.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a great job. Drive safe. Drive safe.
I am. It's about to start raining again, so I'm going a little slow today, but it's cool. I'm enjoying the ride. Y'all giving me something to listen to.
There you go.
Appreciate you all.
All right. Have a good one.
Thanks.
All right. All right. Caramel Kitties in the house. One of the Mega Mod squad in the house holding down for us. But actually, you know what? And I agree with what Lizzie B was saying. She's been divorced for 10 plus years. Yeah, right. But again, I like the dating scene is rough until you find your person and you kind of get centered a little bit on what it is you want and how you want it and who you can be with and all that. It could be rough. It could be precarious, and I don't necessarily want to see it because I know it's hard, you know. And that's actually, like I said, that's when Christine came back right away with a man, she jumped right back in with a man. I was a little nervous for her because it is hard. And so sometimes so quick to wanting to be in a relationship, you're in love with the idea of being in love that you kind of drop the ball on making sure that this is the right person because you just want to fill that role so bad. That's where some of the hesitation, I think, from a lot of the fans, even when they were talking about Christine marrying David so quickly and this, that, and other. That's what they were talking about. Even with Christine, like trying to play down everybody's concerns. Oh, you guys don't have to worry about me. I'm grown. I do what I want to do. Christine, this is why we're worried. This is why we're worried. I mean, obviously, you can do what you want to do because I don't live in your house. It doesn't affect me one way or another, but it can affect you. And then more importantly, it can affect your kids, bringing the wrong person into your home. Tanya Carter had asked a question. Tanya Carter, member for 1 month. How is Maddie able to speak out like that? No NDA? No, I think that as long as she's the NDA only prevents them from discussing. The way it seems their NDAs are crafted, it would only prevent them from discussing things that will appear on the show. And Madison technically isn't a cast member. At least as far as I know. She's not a cast member of the show, even though she appears on the show. If she's not drawing a check from them, like she may say, look, there's certain things I can't talk about because it's going to be featured on the show and it's a storyline for my parents, so I won't talk about it. But her relationship with her father, because it has been talked about on the show already, for her to give, and if they haven't really contracted with her to talk specifics about what her relationship is with her father, then that might give her the room to be able to have the conversation or to sidestep any conflict of interest with the NDAs or conflicts with the NDAs, not necessarily conflicts of interest, but you dig what I'm saying. Lizzie had a thing too. I was going to comment on that. There was a couple things I kind of pegged to comment on. But if somebody else wants to call in, we have a little bit more time and then we can close it out for the evening. I won't hold you guys. Lizzie B had said this earlier. There it is. We were watching a show about people moving and talking about monogamy. And I think that that's accurate. Like this whole episode recently was just about them moving. So we watched Cody and Robin pack their house up. We watched McKelty take her stuff from one location to another location. Like the half the episode was just them in rental cars and moving U-Haul shit around. Like, is this what we're watching? And that actually gets into one of my bigger points too. And I want to do a deeper dive in a video, separate video. But here's the thing, guys. The first iteration of this show, the wives that went through great pains to say that this is a show about strong women. And after this season and a lot of the revelations and stuff that are coming out, mostly because they didn't want to talk about anything, so other truths started coming out, it's revealed that this wasn't never a show about strong women. You know, and if at best this is a show about survival and these ladies surviving bad situations, you know. But where do we stand now that they've moved on and moved past a lot of their chains of being tied to this bad relationship or this bad circumstance or situation? Where do they move now? And in their quest or their journey from moving from one state to another state where they were tied into the Brown family, now they're independent of the Brown family. This begs the question, what is the show about? Before, the show was about polygamy and how does it, you know, how is it affected by people finding out that they're polygamists, and how do these polygamists live their lives, and are they different from us? Are they the same as us? What do they have in conflict with us? What do they have in similarity? And what do they do that's similar to us? How do they live, et cetera, et cetera? Now, TLC, what's the show about? What's the show about? It's not even surviving polygamy at this point. Because none of them want to say, in order for you to have a surviving polygamy, they would have to come out and say, you know, that their experience was negative. And they're not even saying that their experience is negative as much as they're saying that Cody just didn't do the right thing, or he didn't live up to his end of the bargain, which is different. That's a different experience. That's me saying, like I said before, a comment I made about Mary. That is the equivalent of you saying that you didn't like how things turned out because you didn't like your cut. I don't have a problem with knocking the bank off. I just have a problem that I'm only getting 20% of the proceeds from knocking the bank off. You know, the crime didn't bother me. It's just that I don't like my cut. So the relationship, being in a polygamous relationship, didn't bother you. You just don't like your cut. You don't like your breakdown. And that's problematic. So I'm going to close out the I'm going to close out the poll. Let's get these poll results in. For 142 people, hopefully you guys all hit the like button. Do you think TLC has been taking its viewers for granted with how they handle their reality shows? Now, this isn't just Sister Wives, in my opinion. This is all their reality shows, because I think it goes this way across the board. At 4%, no, it's entertainment. Of course, this is what it is. This is just how reality shows go. That was 3%. 6%, they deliver drama, but it's forced. Then, of course, you get knocked up, doubling that, where at 15%, 16% now, where it says, I've stopped watching altogether. And that answers for the decline. The last thing you want is a 15% reduction in your viewership if you're trying to grow your show. They want that viewership to grow. This is why he's doing special forces. This is why they have him. They're highlighting his experiences on other shows. This is why they're opening him up for that, because they're trying to grow the audience, not lose audience. And if they're losing audience because the show is declining in viewership, not only are they not picking up new people, but they're losing the people who are already watching the show, which is horrendous. That's horrible. That's horrible news for the show and for the network. especially being as though Sister Wives is one of their flagship shows. Let's be very clear about that. So the network is actually losing, and that's why I'm saying, like, I know you interns are watching. Get this in the hands of your bosses or your supervisors and tell them this is why this shit is failing. This is why it's failing. At 75%, this is that your answer right here. It's not the fact that the family ain't together no more and we're not watching Cody and the family go out fishing on camping trips. They're not together because do you think TLC has been taking its viewers for granted with how they handle their reality shows? 75% of you said yes, the storylines are recycled. This goes back to what I was saying about Cody Pass being 6 years old in the making. This goes back to what I was saying about Cody having several conversations with Robin at different points on whether they're going to be monogamous or not. The truth of the matter is you guys have been monogamous since the show started. What are we talking about at this point? You guys have been monogamous since the show started. You basically were monogamous who had side chicks. You were a married man who had side chicks. And you had families with these other women. You had baby mamas and you had these other people. That's what it was. That's what it was. So to sit here now and pretend like, oh, this is a big question. Should we all be together? Will you be my wife? Just you by yourself? Is that okay? They've been doing that. The only difference is, will you be okay being my wife and me not having access to other women's bank accounts? Is my money enough for you? That's the question. If they would have asked that, I think the show would have been a hit because it would have been more honest. Is my bank account enough for you? Not is, me and not the big family. Is that enough? No, is my bank account, the money I bring in, is that enough to satisfy you? Or do you need me to go out and get other women and trick them into giving me their money? That's more honest. That's more honest. But we have Tanya Carter coming in. What's going on, Tanya? How you doing?
Hey. I had to come out of YouTube and come back in because I couldn't figure out how to get to the link. And I was like, it's going to end and I'm not going to be able to ask my question. What do you think? Because I came in late, so I don't know if y'all talked about the paintings over at Mary's house. What do you think how do you think Cody's going to react when he sees that painting?
Well,
Or do you
I
think he
think
would have had to sign off on that?
no, I don't think he'll have to sign off on it. I just think that he'll do what people in his position typically do. It was going to be all about him no matter what anybody did anyway. If anything, they just gave him a leg up because they directed it, because one of the people directed it towards him. So when he sits around and talks about, oh, they just crap talk me all the time and that's all they do. Like, that's what he expects anyway. So I don't know. Like I said, I said this on Sunday. It might not have struck me so hard if Mary would have made a big deal out of the fact that the guy had cracked a little can joke about having two wives and them not being married at the same time. And she got all assaulted. Oh, clutch my pearls. That's so ridiculous. And then you, as a grown ass, beyond middle-aged woman, are sitting around doing, jammy picks with your friends. That would be if I was with my friends, I said this before, but I'm gonna say it again. Earmuffs for the young viewers, if you guys are in the room. That would be like me if I ever went somewhere with a group of guys, especially if they're my age or even younger. But if I went somewhere with a group of guys and they started drawing pictures of women, like booby pictures,
Yeah.
I would lose my damn mind. Are you serious? This is what we doing? This is ridiculous. Like, you understand what I mean? But it's that weird place where, when we talk about like the naivete of this group, it just seems almost immature because it just like, this is funny. this this is what we doing.
It
You
was
know,
hard to watch.
yeah,
It was hard to watch, and not even so much because of the emoji part of it, like which was just stupid. I mean, that's just like junior high jokes.
right,
But
right.
it's just that's reality TV, like that's what we're watching. To me, I feel like Mary has almost like an arrested development.
Mm,
Like she kind of just never grew past when she met Cody at 18 or however old, 17, however old she was whenever they first met. And she's just stuck.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not uncommon that if people suffer undergo certain levels of trauma, that they might revert back to where they were at the time of that trauma.
Hmm.
You know, not to be too pop psychologist or whatever, but it's that is a phenomenon that people have probably have noticed, and I think that that's a fair analysis. But it's just, I and again, I'm not trying to say, like, I'm not the dude who's gonna sit here and pretend like, oh, I've never done anything crass, I've never told any off-putting jokes or blue humor. That's not the case. It's just weird to me that that's how you want to present yourself,
Hmm.
especially as a person who's trying to date.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, if I'd have saw, like, it's somebody I was interested in, and protect, like, and that's what I mean about, like, what you put out there too as far as your bait. Like, you can't go to, like, don't go to the ocean, grab a fishing rod, rent a boat, go to the ocean and expect to catch a steak. You understand what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Like, you got to use the right lures and the right, to track the right thing, the things that you want. And if everything that you have, and when you're talking about relationships, everything is sexually charged, then that's what our relationship is going to be. You can't rely on me to change the direction or add more intensity or a different layer or flavor to what you present. So if you present to me that it's all about how I swing that thing, then don't expect me to call you or text you in the morning, hey, how you doing? You understand
Exactly.
what I mean? Unless I'm coming through,
Exactly.
So it's just, I don't know. I just think it's just a bad look. It's just a bad look. Especially since they spend so much time, and maybe that's what it is too. They spend so much time being prudish that it just comes off like it's so forced and so naive, and this isn't who you are necessarily. Well, obviously it is who you are, because
Right.
I even said that on Sunday. Like, I know she tried to pretend like, I don't know how this happened. Like, my friends came over for some wine and we're supposed to be doing some paintings, and next thing you know, we sit around doing wing
No.
walkers. Like, at the end of the day,
Mm-mm.
everybody's got that friend who don't drink, or that friend who doesn't, do whatever. You don't go over to their house and take a 6-pack or a case of beer. You know what I mean? A bottle of wine or whiskey. You know
Right.
what I mean? Because they will not appreciate that. If you have a friend that doesn't like cursing, you don't go in their house and just French it up. You understand what I mean? Because it's
No.
disrespectful to your friend. And you know your friend, and you know they're not going to appreciate it. You'll think it's hilarious. You understand what I mean? But they're not going to appreciate it.
Yeah, this is who she is.
Mm,
This is who she is. But I just I don't see how the show can continue. I feel like, but even if they are filming a season 21, that could still be canceled, right? Like they could just
yes.
scrap that.
Yes, yes, that is 100%. The reality shows, hell, TV does that too. I'm not even gonna put it on reality shows. You can shoot a whole season of a show. If the pilot doesn't do jack, they'll tell
Hmm.
them that, okay, well, you know what, putting it on air costs me more money. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna eat the cost of the production. If anything, they could do a Poly Family. What they did with Poly Family, that was a show that I think they were trying to stage to take over for
Yeah.
Sister Wives.
Yeah. They
But
didn't vet the people well enough though, because that one guy kind of ruined it.
right, per TLC normal. Like I said, if you ever
Yeah.
go on a TLC show, you are on your own. So keep the nunchucks in your bag, because shit might get wild. But
You know who they might could make a show off of? Do you watch Seeking Sister Wives?
yes.
You know the Davises?
Oh, with Nick and
Yes.
his two wives.
Where
Yeah, yeah.
he's too smart to work. They're
Yeah.
actually kind
I
of
like to sit around
interesting.
and think my thoughts.
Yes.
I want to be free to
He
think.
should be able to think and read all day so he can teach our children that aren't here yet.
Right. These deep thoughts I'm having. Like, yeah, right. But yeah, you know what? He very much reminds me of an early stage Cody.
Mm-hmm.
How how Cody presented himself in the first couple of episodes, the first season of the show, first few seasons of the show, where he's trying to be like young and friendly and it's about the women and their understanding and making sure that they're comfortable, because I want the women to feel like they're really in charge and feel like they have a part. And the whole time, like you said, he's the one not working.
Right.
He's the one sitting in the crib, and they go out work a full day. There you go. I have wine for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Because he's kind like that.
Yeah. I mean, shit, you should be doing some stuff. You home all
Right?
day. You know what I mean? And I'm not even hating on people who are like homemakers. I'm just saying, like, you can't be there and not do nothing. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. No, you just stay at home, period.
Right. You gotta play your part, It is what it is.
No, I don't see it. I don't see it lasting though. And my last thought, did you hear about the mining behind their house?
Yeah, the cinder mine. Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that like what they use to like make asphalt and stuff like that to pave the road? That's some serious chemicals in the air.
Yeah. It's not good. It's yeah, it can start to affect like well water and all that kind of stuff. Um and it's supposed to be like porous volcanic rocks or something like that.
Right.
And they use it for road construction, landscaping, lightweight concrete, and like you said, with a lot of the mixtures and stuff that they put in it to break things down, like it's probably not the best move.
Mm-mm.
But
But in
I mean,
true
it's still
Cody fashion, he didn't think about any of that.
right. Well, you saw like and this is what I was saying before. Like with him, I just feel like he saw the price tag.
Mm-hmm.
And then he saw, okay, it's a lot of land. It's got structures on it. It costs a lot of money. So this is luxury. But if you know anything about like real estate, it's not like luxury isn't determinative by like the how much you pay for your house. Technically, a lot of times you might be able to talk them down when you break down like why this house isn't worth as much as you want for it. I mean, yeah, it's on a lot of land. Yeah, you have a few structures on it. But if it's right behind the cinder mine, if it's behind a toxic plant, or if it's they doing toxic waste dumping, or if it you know what I mean, it's 2 feet from the highway. Yeah, it's probably not worth $2.1 million.
And
And
I
if you do pay
heard,
that, you'll never sell it.
I don't know how true it is. Another YouTuber that's always all over YouTube, and it's hard to not see her stuff sometimes, but somehow she got an insider um, that the house was actually on the market for like over a year. You remember in the
Ooh,
episode, he said that he was like, they had been watching the price and waiting for it to go down because it was out of their price range. And apparently it was on the market for over a year, which is like unheard of in Flagstaff.
right.
And they ended up putting in like 200,000 over asking price, and the buyers didn't even ask
Mm,
for that. Like Cody's
mm,
ridiculous.
that's terrible business. That's terrible. That's terrible. I remember I was looking for the house I'm in now. We're during that time where we were looking for houses. I remember going to this Wedding's house. It was actually a nice house, but when we walked in, her and her kids were running around the house trying to pack their shit up. Right? And I'm
Gee.
like, oh, what's going on? She's like, if you have any questions, do you stop me or one of the kids? We'll be happy to answer any questions you have. Thank you very much for coming by. Took off and packing shit, right? And I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm not buying this house.
Right. No.
She's running from something. So I don't know if this house, she got people looking for her ass, and I don't want her showing up to the house thinking she's still here,
Wow.
or this house is haunted than a mug and she trying to get out of there before the sun go down.
Ask me or one of the kids.
Right.
That's hilarious.
What's going on with y'all? Why y'all running so fast?
Exactly.
Help me out.
Slow
You know what
down
I
a
mean?
minute. That's
Yeah.
funny.
But
No,
when
I
you
think
have
we're gonna
houses
hear
that are for a
something.
long time, that's why. Like, well, not necessarily haunted, but it's never a good sign. Usually they'll put houses up and they'll take them down if it's
Yeah.
like that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So,
don't think. I think we'll hear something. We'll hear something.
yeah, yeah, right.
Cody. All right. I'll let you go though. I
All right,
enjoy the
thank you so
show.
much for calling in, Mrs. Kata. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. I got some speak pipes for you too.
Okay, awesomeness,
You
awesomeness. I
know.
can't wait.
All right.
All right, I'll talk to you.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Awesomeness. Got some Speak Pipe magic. Make sure you guys hit that Speak Pipe too, because we'll be doing a Thursday show for Speak Pipe. It'll be amazing. They're usually really good. They're usually really good. And we're gonna have our last caller, Linda, in the house. What's going on, Linda? Coming back. What's up?
I'm back. Okay. So I did see Mary and her penis emoji party. Do you think that maybe it was TLC's attempt to humanize her, make her look like a girl's girl, and she's not that stuck up or that rigid or that religious? I have a funny feeling that was just like attempt to like redo her personality so she doesn't seem like such a stick in the mud.
Yeah. Well, you know what? In fairness, though, she's been doing like dirty jokes the whole time. Between her and Jen, like even Jen first coming in, they were doing dirty jokes. Mary with the whole like he likes my turkey, or does he like Robin's turkey? Yeah, she
Oh, well,
told that
color
joke
me
like 4 or 5
stupid. I
times.
thought they really meant the turkey.
Oh no, no, no.
Color me stupid.
Yeah, they wouldn't talk about turkeys.
I didn't catch that. That went over my head. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
she's always so prudish and so strict in this, and maybe they're trying to soften her image because they're making it seem like a child abuser. The way they,
yeah.
they yeah, I don't know, but
Yeah, that
it,
you know what, I hadn't thought about that. That could be it too. They're trying to show a softer, lighter side of Mary. I think that actually might hold some real water. That they might be trying to show more of her personality as like this fun, happy-go-lucky person, and not like this
yeah,
serious, super serious person. That
like a
could be
girl's
it.
girl. Because I don't see her
Yeah,
as a girl's girl. Like she has that one friend, and those other ones. But I don't know. I was thinking about it because I'm like, that seems so out of character, and that's like so dumb.
yeah.
Like if you wanted to have a wine and paint party, why would you do that? And someone was gonna make Cody look stupid.
Right, right.
That was definitely gonna come out. But before I let you go, because I know you're trying to finish fast. So I got a little bit of tea if you all haven't checked it out. So I'm watching Special Forces. And again, I'm being that bitch and I'm watching it on YouTube because I refuse to give them ratings.
Right.
But anyway, the last episode, he got really snarky with Brianna Chicken Fry about, oh, you're just a podcaster, and he
Yeah.
laughed. So she posted, I got my friend sent me it, but I only saw a part of it where she's saying she thought he was a special needs older gentleman. Because when she said what she was, he kind of like snickered at it, but she didn't really catch it. It wasn't until she left that she started checking him out and she realized what a piece of shit he was. Because she said, if I had known who he was, I would have really laid into him.
Right.
Gia and Ravi. So Ravi is the short Indian guy that had this really intense look for the second
Yeah,
episode
when they
where
were fighting.
the
Yeah.
boxing, yeah, where he looked like, oh my God, I
Yeah.
thought smoke was gonna come out of his nose.
I tell you
Um,
what, Robbie had that look in his face. If I was in the match with him, I'm like, I see now I'm gonna have to knock this dude ass out.
for real, because like he's coming for my throat. I'm
Right.
taking you down, my brother.
I'm gonna have to knock him out. You have to go to sleep
But
because this guy
but
is
I'm
like
not
we
gonna
too slick.
lie. If like I gotta get to a scuffle in the street, I want him behind me. Homeboy gonna take somebody out. But he and Gia, so Gia did a second podcast. She did it with Ravi. Ravi thought he says he's either on ecstasy or speed.
Yeah, yeah.
But the Olympic couple, I forgot her name. Oh my God, the gymnast and her husband, who's some other athlete.
Football player.
They they're doing their recap like after every episode, and they alluded to the fact that you're allowed to bring as much medicine as you want. They're alluding to the fact that a lot of people bought super extra stuff. Now we have seen their countertops. They got every supplement, bottle, pill known to man. I think they got their own GNC in the front in their kitchen. And before I forget, remember you thought Robin was running some side hustle? We said something about it. The episode where she's telling Solomon not to put the phone in his pocket? She was walking up to a fax machine. That was a fax machine. That wasn't a copy machine. That was a fax machine. She looked like she was looking for something. So, Mr. Eagle Eye Carpenter, yes, you just might be right. Well, I was the Eagle Eye. You put it out there.
Yeah.
So you and I are working together on this.
There you go.
Yeah. If you guys go back and look at it, where she's going to a table, that white thing is a fax machine.
Right.
So there we go. But yes, so I think I don't want to put it out there, but if there's a spinoff, I don't think it's going to be Cody and Robin. I think they're trying to make us forgive the sister wives and like them. Maybe that's why they're on the show, but Cody's getting so much negativity that he would only work for those stupid things, those villain, your favorite villain stuff, those stupid things that they put on. Yeah. And yes, and he didn't want the big, beautiful house. It was opulence. Let's not forget it. It's opulence. Right. Homeboy read the dictionary.
Because it had to be fancy. You know what I mean? Because he has these delusions of grandeur.
What?
He's making it happen. I have a $2.1 million home. Like, that's the thing, too. It's all about location. Because 2.1 million isn't like 2.1 million in like, say, Arizona. 2.1 million in you buying up a town in Kentucky. Right. But if you go to New York, you got an apartment. You got a really nice apartment. You got a really nice apartment. But 2.1, you ain't even scratching the surface. You know what I mean? It's just depending on the market that you standing in.
But you're absolutely right. The day he goes to sell, he's gonna have to eat that house because no one's gonna give him that money. Because even if he redoes it from top to bottom, it's the location and that ash mine that's behind it. So we're gonna watch him eat the house, and I'm gonna love it. But I'm gonna go in case anybody else wants to call. And yes, thank you as usual for letting me vent. My therapist is on vacation for the next 2 weeks.
Get it all out. Get it all out.
Bye.
All right, have a good one. Thanks, Linda.
You too, dear. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, because, like I said before, with the crazy thing about like those big purchases, you think you're doing something. And in fairness, if you are purchasing homes, you are doing something. That's a big deal. It's a big damn deal. Okay. And you can purchase homes in some areas and doing some things. But when you start, like, it's just the reality of it, folks. This is what I'm talking about. Because I think it was Wendy said that, well, I lived in mining towns my whole life. And you can move to mining towns. You can buy a nice house in a mining town. How you get down is how you get down. What I'm saying is that when you hit a certain price point, the customers and the people, prospective buyers of that house are a different caliber. They're a different type of person. So, for instance, if you have a house in some neighborhoods, if the house is like a starter home price, it's going to be open pretty much to anybody. You have investors coming in. You're going to have young families, have some single people starting out, coming in, trying to purchase that house, bidding on that house. When you take a step up to that next level and you get into a family home, like around that price, that shrinks the amount of people that can participate in purchasing that home. You're refining your customer base at that point. So you'll be able to get more money for the house, but the people become a little more discerning. For a starter house, people expect to come in. They might have to, drywall the house. They might have to paint. They might have to rip up rugs. They might have to redo floors. They might have to do basements and kitchens and bathrooms. They understand that, right? to update things. When you get to a family home, that's kind of in both worlds a little bit. Some folks may expect to come in and, oh, I can do a lot in this room. I can make it happen, or we can redo the kitchen, or I'll get a place that the basement isn't finished and we can redo it. Not a problem. When you start getting into homes that are 7 figures plus, $2, $3, $4 million, people aren't trying to spend $4 million on a house that's not an investment. Like that, the people who can afford that house, just the raw people who can afford that house, is a fraction of the people looking for homes. And then on top of that, when you have a $2.1 million house, you're also looking at the competitors. When you're buying a house, a lot of times you have buyers and sellers markets. For $2.1 million, that's usually a buyer's market. Because if I have $2 million to spend, I can spend my $2 million anyway. And I might be able to do it better than what you offering. So that's where I'm, when I say that that might be where Cody gets his karma. That I think that's it. Because if you make a wrong investment, you keep buying more and more expensive, and it becomes riskier and riskier because you're trying to chase a price point and not necessarily quality to match the price point, then you can outspend or outbid or overpay for a house that will either require a lot of work or needs a lot of money to maintain, and or the taxes, which is also a big thing, because they always had problems with the taxes, especially after Janelle left. They were having problems meeting their tax burden. And if you aren't paying your damn taxes, the more money that house costs, the higher your taxes, property taxes potentially could be. And if you aren't paying like $2.1 million, you could turn around. There are houses not far from me that have like you could pay $50,000 a year for your taxes. That's crazy. There are people don't even make $50,000. They salary ain't even $50,000. And you gotta pay that in house taxes, mortgage, property taxes. What? So that's the places where he's going with that amount of money. But the taxes are killing. That, and the tax man, you not paying your mortgage, and you miss, well, 3 reasons. Not paying your mortgage, the taxes, not paying your taxes, and or incurring medical bills. How you lose your house. That's how you lose your house. And then, Kim Dog said, like, Kim Dog, mama said, who's cleaning that house? That's what I was saying. Because that's a big ass house to clean. That's a lot of house. That's a lot of house to be messing around with. But let's give a little recognition to Lizzie B, gifted One My Take on Reality membership. That's awesomeness. Thank you so much, Lizzie B. This week, guys, we're going to have the noontime meeting of the minds, the members roundtable. So if you're a member, make sure you check in on noon on Saturday, for noon Eastern Standard Time Saturday. We have a roundtable. All the members can come up, and I bring up as many members as I can, and we all have a conversation and discussion. Then also, I think this Sunday, I'm going to set up a members view along. I can't play the episode, but I might just set the live stream up, set a live up while the episode is playing, and then I'll do my after show live as a separate live. So if you guys want to participate in that, by all means. Looks like Tanya Carter. All right. Awesome sauce. But thank you so much, Lizzie B. I appreciate you and all that you do. Let me give you a little something. All right, guys, that's what I have for this particular episode. I appreciate you guys calling in, and thank you for taking care of the poll, answering my questions as far as the poll, because sometimes, like you guys, after the after show, that's why I do it. I like to feel like I'm not the only one. I like to feel like I'm not just shouting against the tides like a lunatic. And it is comforting to know that other people feel the same way and see what I see. We want this show to I want the OG3 to flourish. I want them to do well. And honestly, I want them to do well with integrity. So I don't want them to take advantage of people who are supporting them, because they are supporting them. They feel like they don't have to do anything to earn or get that support. So I want them to honor the people who are supporting them and make sure that when they take their time out to watch your show or invest in your stuff, that you're giving them something to watch that they can enjoy, right? Not just the same old recycled, tired ass storylines that have nothing to do with anything. And part of the reason why they'll do those storylines is because they're safe. Those are safe storylines you feel comfortable talking about. You don't give a shit about it, so it's easy to talk about, and you pretend like it's a big deal, but it's not really a big deal to you, right? But that's not what people sign up for. Even as some of the people had mentioned earlier, what connects you to these reality stories is that we understand it. This might not be the time when it happened, but it at least has to be realistic. And it has to be a hint of truth to what's happening on the screen that we're consuming. And if it doesn't feel true, it doesn't feel real, then we won't watch. And this show will go to the dustbins of history. All right. Don't mess around and get canceled. But I appreciate you guys. Lizzie B holding it down for me. Lizzie B, Caramel Cuties, Brittany Not Brittany, and of course, everybody who called in and gave your perspective on this show, as well as the folks who are going to call in to leave their messages on Thursday. Make sure you come back and check those out. I appreciate everybody. Thank you all so much. Let me give you all a little something for hanging out with me for this evening show. All right. That's my take. I'm James, and this has been my take on reality. And I'm
'Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side.